Hello guys, how are we doing and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be all about aim assist. So I apologise for those of you who are on keyboard and mouse. This is probably not going to be applicable to you, but for those of you who are on controller and you're not winning the gunfights you want to be winning, you're not as accurate as you could be, then I'm going to be going through 5 ways you're probably using aim assist wrong. We're going to be going through things such as how FOV manipulates aim assist, how it can change your aim assist or change how it's perceived. We're going to be going through some settings towards the end of the video. Then going to be looking at how to use rotational aim assist, how to pre-aim properly, and all sorts of other things in today's video. So if this sounds like something you like, stick to the end because there's a lot of useful information in today's video. Before we kick it off, I just want to say thanks to the support on the channel we've had recently. It's absolutely massive, and let's get on with the rest of the video. So the first thing we're going to be getting into is, before we look at these other things, is what is actually rotational aim assist. A lot of people talk about it, but what does it actually mean? So rotational aim assist is when the game rotates your character to stay somewhat looking at the target you're meant to be looking at without using your right stick. So you can see in this example here, I'm hip firing, I'm not ADSing, and the game is essentially shifting my view rotationally towards the target as I'm only moving my left stick. My right stick, my aiming stick, is not being moved whatsoever. You can now see here how it looks when it's turned off. It's a completely different story, and that is what rotational aim assist is. It's aim assist when you're not ADSing and when you're only using that left stick. Okay. Now, it can also benefit you when you are ADSing, and this is going to build into something we're going to get onto in a second as well, which is quite interesting. But we're going to be ADSing here. I'm only going to be leaving my left stick, and you can see just how much my aim sticks to the target just because I am moving. Okay, so rotational aim assist here doesn't only benefit you when you're hip firing, it also benefits you at these longer ranges as well when you are shooting your targets, as I say, short, medium, or long ranges. So that's essentially what rotational aim assist is. It's how the game automatically assists in the rotation of your player to stay on target without you having to move your right analog stick, which is the one you typically use for aiming. So a mistake I commonly see people make is when they're shooting people at long range and they are not using this rotation aim assist to help them shoot. When people shoot at long ranges, a lot of what I see is people only using the right stick to help their aim. Even if it's shooting a still target, moving your left stick will make sure that aim assist pretty much helps you stay relatively centered to your target, okay? So when we're shooting targets like these ones further away here, a slight wiggle of the left analog stick to strafe you left and right, even slightly, you can see I'm not moving much here, helps you stay on target at those really long ranges, because essentially the aim assist is, taking into that rotational aim assist into account and making sure that although you're shooting someone long distance, it's keeping you on target. And this can actually negate or reflect the effect of horizontal recoil, because horizontal recoil, if you don't know, basically is when you're shooting and your aim goes right or left depending on how long you've been holding the trigger for, and wiggling left and right can sort of negate some of that horizontal recoil as well. So this is super important to do at those long ranges if you want to make sure your aim is very much pinpoint. And this is what often is I get a lot of people saying, what Cronus do you use? You've clearly got something. And it's because I'm doing this. It's because aim assist is making sure that I don't really have much horizontal recoil, because first of all, I have the attachments that make it so I don't. And second of all, I'm using aim assist to my advantage in that I'm wiggling left and right as I'm shooting people at long range, meaning that the aim assist is taking into account there's a target I'm shooting and it's keeping me somewhat centered on that opponent, therefore reducing any impact on horizontal recoil and movement from the enemy player. So another mistake I see people make is when they're holding an angle, okay? So you take my position here, an enemy's come around the corner. Sometimes people are laid down or crouched or stood up. In this example here, I'm stood up, but I am not moving my left stick. And you'll see as this player approaches the corner and goes around the corner, my aim hasn't moved because I haven't moved any of my sticks, okay? I'm not moving, I'm not ADSing, moving my aim whatsoever. And as a result, nothing's happened, okay? I've just stayed aiming where I was aiming. Now, looking here, you can see I'm putting a slight wiggle into my movement. So I'm holding the same angle. I'm not moving too much. I'm just putting a slight wiggle. And you can see the difference that slight wiggle makes because of the rotational aim assist I'm using in this example. So yeah, in short, when you're holding an angle, you will only get aim assist on a player that comes around the corner if you are moving. It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to be full strafing. It can simply be a wiggle just like this one here. Now, another misconception surrounding aim assist, or should I say a couple of misconceptions or mistakes surrounding aim assist, is their relationship with FOV and how FOV affects the amount of aim assist you get. The first misconception is that the lower your FOV, say you play on an 80 FOV, the higher aim assist you're going to have, the more aim assist you're going to feel. We're going to be debunking that in a second, so bear with me. The second mistake I see people make is they play on an insanely high FOV because they think they can see more and they can see they've got more peripheral, and that's a massive mistake and can impact your accuracy and does affect your aim assist, which we're going to go into in a second. So instead of just talking about it, I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you how aim assist is affected by FOV. So the first screenshot here is a player who is an example of an 80 FOV aim assist. And we can see here the green rectangle represents the window aim assist takes account for. So it's when your aim assist starts to slow down, it's between these within this green box. Okay, so you can see it's quite big. At this point, it covers 14% of your screen. So from like horizontal-wise, it covers 14%. There's a 14% of your screen is got aim assist. Now compare this directly to a 120 FOV. So we're going from 80 to 120. You can see that green box looks a lot smaller, and you would argue that this gives you less aim assist. And whilst you're not completely wrong, it's an illusion. Okay, now if we're talking real facts here, we said the 80 FOV screenshot, the 80 FOV aim assist accounts for 14% of your screen. Okay, the aim assist window is 14% of your screen horizontally with 80 FOV. Interestingly, with 120 FOV, the aim assist window only covers 8%. So it's going from 14% of your screen being aim assist to only 8% of your screen being aim assist because of that FOV, which gives the illusion that the higher or the lower your FOV, the bigger aim assist you get. Now, we've got them side by side here, and you can see instantly that the window on the 80 FOV, the aim assist window on the 80 FOV screenshot is considerably larger than the one on the right. But if you take a look at the surroundings around the screen, like around the green boxes, you can see it yourself. Everything's closer, everything's bigger. The targets at the back are bigger. You can see the 25 mark to the left is bigger, and everything looks closer to you. But what you can see interestingly here is that aim assist window on both sides, on the left and the right, only touch the 25 marker sandbag above it, and then the player on the right, that other dummy. So although it looks bigger on your screen, you're still getting the same aim assist strength of the same aim assist window as everyone else's, no matter what your FOV is. Whether your FOV is on 60 or 120 or anywhere in between, the aim assist window is going to be, in this example, based on where I am in this dummy range, on the 25-meter sandbag and then on the dummy. It's just that the higher your FOV is, the smaller and further they look away, meaning that your aim assist window looks smaller. So it is simply an illusion. And that sort of ties me into the next bit. I see people running 120 FOV, and essentially what that means is your targets at long range are smaller, and it will be harder to hit your targets at those long ranges with that 120 FOV. So a sweet spot is probably between 95 and 105, because although you're not getting the full big size window of your FOV, you still got the peripheral. It's a nice middle ground between these two things, okay? With about 100 FOV, the aim assist window takes into account 11% of your screen rather than 8 or 14. So it's a nice middle ground that gives you the benefits and cons of both of those different ends of the scale, all right? So as a final note, I see a lot of people making some mistakes in the settings they use. And we're going to be mainly focusing on the aim settings. So if there's any other settings you want me to go through, let me know down in the comments so I can make an additional video. But the stick sensitivity is 1616 for me. You want to be playing around that, maybe a little bit below that, but around that's about right. I see a lot of people thinking a high sense is better or a low sense is better, but really about 16 is sort of what you want to aim for. And then what we have then for dead zones, you want as low dead zones as possible. That essentially means the stick is going to be more reactive to your movement. So when you make micro adjustments, it's going to react quicker. When you're trying to aim, it's reacting quicker. Generally, it makes what you do on the controller appear on your screen and happen in game a lot faster. I see a lot of people play with a dead zone too high. And essentially, the best way to find the best fit for you is if you go down to dead zone inputs and you want to move these to as low as possible. So I'd probably start on about a 5. Go on the test, press yes on the test, and then flick your sticks left and right. And you sort of want it to be coming back to 0 at the bottom there. You can see where it's moving. It goes to -1 at some point, but you can sort of see that's what it goes to. Then you do the similar thing on the right stick. So you just flick it around, and you hopefully it should return back to 0. Now you want to be if it doesn't return back to 0, turn it off. increase your right stick and left stick minimum dead zone, and increase until you find an area where you're not getting any sort of stick drift, okay, where you're not flicking back to, where you are flicking back to 0% on your right stick and left stick inputs. Now, if it gets to the point where you're having to put your dead zone over 10, it will be causing an issue for you, and it's probably likely you're going to probably need to consider a new controller if you have the funds for it. If not, you just got to put it, you just sort of got to try to manage it if you can. We're then going to go into aiming. I don't have a sensitivity multiplier on this section, but we are going to get into it in a second. Obviously, you have target aim assist on, and then finally we have the aim advanced settings, where you basically want to make sure that you've got the ADS sensitivity timing transition as instant, so that as soon as your ADS, you've then got the ADS sensitivity adjustment already there. You want the aim response curve as dynamic with a 1 curve slope, and then finally custom sensitivity per zoom is something I don't see people use enough, and it's essentially where they want a 1/6 sensitivity, but when they ADS, it's a little bit too quick, so they try and reduce the full sensitivity rather than reducing their ADS, which is what you can do here. I've got mine at 0.8, and it basically means I can just stay on my targets for longer, which makes my beams at long range much more useful. And that's pretty much it for these settings. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found something useful or you learned something new in today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content surrounding Black Ops 6 ranked play, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now.